Hey, Captain Low guys, preacher at large, teaching the word and inspiring, 3 minutes at a time. Hey, 2 Samuel 24. David does a stupid thing and he numbers the people of Israel against God's wishes. Right? And then God says, what do I do to take away this reproach that I have brought upon myself? And God tells him to go build an altar on the floor of the threshing floor of Araunah, the Jebusite. Right? And so he goes down there and he tells Araunah, hey, I need to buy your land. I need to make an altar to the Lord here, as the Lord has commanded me. And then Araunah says, no, my Lord King, you just take it. And David could have said, well, this is just a blessing of the Lord. Or David could have, just taken the land. But David said, no, God has commanded me to do this sacrifice, to make this altar and offer these sacrifices. And I will give nothing to God that costs me nothing. So he pays for everything, takes care of it, right? And then he could have done a lot of things, right? But he didn't. He simply did what God asked him to do, and he paid for this land because he didn't want to give God anything that cost him nothing. So I wonder today how many of us Christians are like that our Christian faith really costs us nothing. The sacrifice that we give to God really costs us nothing. Right? Doesn't cost us much because we go to church and let everybody else give, but we don't give in the offering and we don't tithe our 10% of what God has blessed us with, showing God that He is the owner of all things and that we can't even be trusted with the 90% because we won't give Him the 10%. Yeah, there's a lot of folks out there that don't give 10%, right? Because apparently they're not like David and they don't want to give God anything that costs them something. Then there's those people that don't want to give any of their time, right? Doesn't cost them hardly anything because, they may show up for an hour on Sunday, hour and a half, depending on which church you go to. But then they don't do anything else for the Lord. Doesn't cost them anything. Yeah, their faith, the sacrifices they're making are not costing them very much. So what I would do today is I'd ask you to analyze your life. And is what you're giving God, or you think you're giving God, costing you anything? Because if you're not giving of your time and your money, if you're not studying the Word, these things cost something. Take an inventory. See where you stand today. And I pray that you stand like David stood and you don't want to give anything to God that costs you nothing. You want to give your best. Now, look at your face in the Bible.